second use command to let's now open a SQL developer. Click on the plus connection, plus. Now over here, you can give any name, might be OCI, PDP test. Okay. Over here, you have to give the sys username. Rule should be sysdba. And the password would be the one we have given while configuring the database. It was, I think, admin//12345. After that, on the host name, you have to give the public IP address. Public IP address, this one of your machine. Copy that public IP address. Specify a public IP address. Port number would be default 1521. And under service name, go to your machine and type type lsnr type lsnr space status. Now, after that, you can see there
Sorry,
should be
what
some.
was it? LS? Can you just?
I have given the command in the chat box. lsnrctl space status.
Okay.
Then you should see something left like test underscore pdp1.sub12270.vcndb.oraclevcn.com. Just a moment. Let my screen comes up. Okay, on the server side, when you click on the database, click the listener status. What do you see? Can you see anything over there? Yeah, first.
I accidentally downloaded it in another. So downloading it now.
3 dots. Click on 3 dots.
Yeah, this one, stop report.
No, not this one, not this one. On the left hand side, next to Oracle Cloud.
Oh, this one here, these 3 lines.
Yeah, click on that one. Now click on networking. Then go to VCN, Virtual Cloud Networks. Virtual Cloud Networks. Okay. Now go to DBC VCN, DBA VCN. Click on that one. Now go down. Go down. Now go to public subnet division.
So,
yeah, get there. Now come down again. Now click on default security list. Now click on the first option.
so
Click that one. Click on edit. Edit. On the TCP, click all protocols. Save changes. Click on save changes. Now again go to ingress rules. This ingress rule, left hand side.
this one.
Click on that one. Click on that one as well. Now, if I click on first click this one down. Click, then click on edit. All protocols already accepted. Okay, cancel this one. That's fine. Now try it again on the SQL developer. Go there, SQL developer. Now click again test. Okay. Now save connection. Click on save. Yep. All right. Now you're connected to database. Okay. Now you're connected with sysdba. Now click start connect. Click on connect. Type select staff from db_users. So today's topic are table space, data file, data blocks, segments, and extents. Just understand the things first. This is my objects, database objects. What are the example of database objects? These are my table database objects. So these are called segments. In Oracle language, it's called segments. Segments are stored in extent. Extent 1. Example, this extent is of size 128 MB. Now, as soon as my extent gets free, next extent is going to be allocated for next block, for next segments to be stored. Again, this will be again segment 2. These are called extents. Segments, then extents. Next are called blocks, data blocks. Data blocks. Data blocks reside where? It resides on your storage. Data blocks have some fixed block size. Might be 4096 bytes. And my data block size might be, can be, for example, I'm giving Oracle database blocks, which could be, might be 8152. That means in order to store 2 data blocks of data of Oracle data blocks, I need 2 block of. Now, in order to store this data on the storage, on your storage, what I need is called what do you need? IO. So what is 4096 byte, by the way? 4096, if somebody says that the block size of the Oracle or any storage part is 4096 byte, means that the capacity for the kernel or the OS to perform read or write 4096 with a single hit. It can read 4096 bytes or it can write 4096 bytes. That's called the IO.
Okay.
So when you say that it's going to read something, it means at a point it can read minimum of the block size can be 4096. So if it's reading hundreds of block, that means if it's reading 100 MB of data, you can divide with number of blocks it's reading with the bytes. In case of Oracle, Oracle have 2 things: logical storage and physical storage. Logical storage is always greater. Physical is limited. In physical, it is a dependency on storage of Linux or storage of any other part. The reason is that if Oracle says that I can read 1 MB, but is it possible on the storage side? It has to take the block from the OS.
Okay.
Because OS dependency. And RAM, logical is, what is logical? It's a RAM. So anything which Oracle stores in SGA memory, it will take less time to read from the memory as compared to anything which is written on the OS because of the limitation of block size. 10 people can get more data, that means it's gonna speed up your memory of the database. because the file resides on the physical file resides on the OS. In that case, Oracle cannot do anything because it has to perform IO, which is depending on the OS side. But in case of logical, the data memory is already in the RAM. So Oracle will much faster read any information from its own memory. That's the reason we have seen that Oracle always puts memory, which is frequently used in database buffer cache. Data block at the finest level. You can see over here, finest level.
So the data
What is the
block is
last thing?
always 8152.
Database
Okay?
block.
Data block is always 8152.
No, it will be 4096 depending on the 4096 is the one. Data blocks is the Oracle blocks.
Okay.
It is my table. It's my table which have a size of 8152. But it will be stored in 2 blocks on the OS.
Okay. Okay.
One size limit is 4096. That means I need 2 block size to store a block size of 8152. A table which have a 10 MB, it needs multiple blocks of OS.
Okay. Okay.
So at the finest level of granularity, Oracle stores data in database blocks. Oracle stores data in data blocks. That's a Oracle data tables. We store blocks, also called logical blocks. Oracle blocks of pages. Oracle data block correspond to number of bytes of physical database space on disk. You set the block size for every Oracle database when you create a database. This data block size should be multiple of the operating system block size. The multiple means why? Because it have limit 40 is the byte for OS. For my, I can see like multiple 2 block size 8152. It means 2 of my physical blocks of OS. Multiple. Extend, the next level of logical data space is called extend. And extend is a specific number of continuous block size that is allocated for storing a specific type of information. When extend gets full, it can be extended to next. And it have limit. It depends on your data file. Segment, the level of logical database storage about it is called segment. Segment is a set of extents that have been allocated for a specific type of data structure, and all are stored in a same table space. For example, each table's data is stored in own data segments, while each index data files stored in own index segments. Oracle allocates space for segments and in extents. Therefore, when extent of a segment are full, Oracle allocates another extent for the segments because extents are allocated as needed. The extent of a segment may or may not be continuous of a disk. Let's understand what is table space database file. Now, this is my web application. Web app. Okay. Now, this file have some username, password, because it needs to store data to your database file that it have to connect to database, which have username / password. Okay. Now you have created one schema. Schema is nothing but a user. In end user term, it's called user. In Oracle term, it's called schema. Schema called web app. Okay. Now this web app will have its table, objects, index, everything. Now that needs to be stored somewhere. Where you will store? You will have one table space. You will have its own space. That means this user will have its own space to store memory or data related to this application called table space. Now, table space is a logical. It's a logical. Now, table space will have data file. Data files are what?
Physical.
Yes. Let me just show you what is data files. Okay. Can you see data file?
Yeah.
Anything which you can see are called physical. Now, if I go back to the OS, I can see this file. I can see this one file. I can see this file. That means it's a physical. Now, it will have data file. Example, users slash user 01, or I can say web app dot web app 01 dot dbf is the name of my data file. Data file will have data, tables, and everything. Those are called. Now, segments are what? They are database objects. Database objects are stored in what? Extents. Okay, extent 1, 2, 3, 4 depends. Okay. Now, extents are stored what? What do extents stored on the OS?
Data blocks.
Blocks, all data blocks. Now, if this level database file has some limitations, 32 GB is the size limit. Limit. That means it is a size limit for my database file. What if 32 GB gets full? What I will do? I will add one more data file. Now, I have to use different name because user is already used. I will do 2. Now, again, we have segment, events, blocks. But why did I use different table space for this schema? Any idea, this user?
To keep all the related information in one place.
Exactly. Just imagine now, this is very confidential. This application stores very confidential information, tables and everything. And even though imagine now you have got one more application, which is for the validation of something like auditing information. Are you going to give the access to this same, even if you you can use same table space for both the users. You can use it, like Oracle doesn't put any kind of restrictions for you, but you still can do it. But the thing is, it's always recommended by the Oracle for every schema you should have its own table space. If tomorrow this says that we need to backup or restore something, immediately this application is pointing table space, this and this. You can backup and do everything. If tomorrow somebody says that I need to backup audit table, now audit table was introduced last week. Audit schema was introduced last week, but this web application from last 4 years. Now this entire table space size almost 100 GB. But last 3 weeks back, audit table was introduced and you want to take a backup. That means you have to take a backup of every table, all table space 50 GB. You cannot segregate this specific data related to audit table. So it's already advisable that you should always have its own space schemas. Even by default, even if when you create a schema, when you add one schema, it by default, if you do not specify the table space, by default, it goes to system table space. System table space are the Oracle seeded space. System. Okay. System. Can you see system? This is Oracle seeded one. Table space name is system. Which Oracle stores its own data dictionary, database objects, its own seeded objects.
Okay.
Now, when we add, how do we add schemas? You can create user called as username, identified by means password. This is the syntax. Let's example. Now I'm creating a user. Let's connect to okay, now my user is created. Can I see this user? Yes, I can see the user. I'll see. Select star from DBA underscore users. By default, DBA will have access to all the tables, everything. Okay, only DBA. These are tables, DBA tables. Okay, select star from. Can you see Apex? Created on today's date 5/3/23, and rest all users shaded users. See, they are users for Oracle's own database engine. Okay. Now, where user name is to can you see what kind of error it's showing?
Apex lacks to create session privilege. Okay.
That means whenever you create a user,
Mhm.
though user have a username password, it's authenticated, but still not authorized to create a new session.
Okay.
User is authenticated. That's the reason it didn't show information password. It's still not authorized to create a new session. So we have to give a privilege, create sessions to Apex.
Okay.
Who will only DBA can give. Only DBA can give. Now, let's see. Can you see success?
Yeah.
Now it's being authorized to create a success.
Mhm.
And let's connect. Create table EMP ID number name vector to int table got created.
Mhm.
But did we assign any kind of table space to the user? That means we have not given it a space. That means where data is going actually?
System table space.
System table space, which is violation. If tomorrow you give the access table space, that means you're giving database data file access. So now we can create, even though user created, we can create table space. Let's create table space. Where do you find? First, we have to find the location of existing table space. Why we need to find the location of existing table space?
Because we need to know where we are doing it, so we know the size of it.
First, the thing is that where it's going to be stored, it has to store somewhere on the physical storage. We need the location. First, we will find what? First, we'll go to the directory. This is the directory where data files are located. Okay, database file. We will get a new directory mkdir apex and apex pwd. Get this location. Go to table space. Create table space apex table space name. It's fine. Here it is. Now, I have shown you a little what is extent. Okay, extent, when extent goes free, how the next extent is allocates memory. I said extent gets free. If this extent gets free, how the next extent is created. Extent 1, extent 2. This one, extent 120 MB got free, next one got executed.
Okay.
Now, let's look at this one. Initially, I'm creating database table space, the data file. with default memory of 1000 MB is 1 GB. Okay, 1 GB. Now, as soon as my data file gets filled till 1 GB, it's gonna look for more memory. It's gonna accumulate more memory for data blocks. Auto action is on, which says on next 10 MB. What happened? Now 1 GB is full. Now next 10 MB is allocated. X10 L10 MB. Once 10 MB is full, again new action will come into the picture. Till when? My question will till when action is going to expand till 10 MB, 10 MB. In the last corner, max size 32 GB. That means till the time this data file is not completely filled with 32 GB, auto extend is going to keep on extending till 32 GB by 10 MB.
Okay.
So if I turn this off, auto extend off, what will happen?
It won't stop.
Now, if this auto action is on, if I keep it off,
So it will stop after 100, after 1000 MB.
exactly. It's gonna store my data objects till 1000 MB. As soon as 1000 MB is full, it will not store any information.
It will give an error or what? How do we know this?
Your all the session will be stuck.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's gonna go in a hung mode because DBWRTL is waiting for some memory. It's in the process, it's in the memory. SG is waiting for the memory to clear it up from the DBWR. DBWR is going to buffer cache. The database buffer cache went to the database file location to store the memory, but it didn't got any kind of IO because I initially told you that while writing to database file for database buffer cache, it's asynchronous confusion. Asynchronous. It's not synchronization. That means it's went to the right, but it's not getting any kind of input or anything. So that will be in a hung stage. Then the end user or the developer will come and ask you that the session getting stuck, then not able to perform anything. In that case, you will see the memory and then you have to add database files and then only all sessions which are stuck will be able to move smoothly.
Okay, okay. And like after 32 GB, the file name will automatically change to 02 or
No,
how
after
does
that, no. It will not change because Oracle doesn't know what is your configuration for the storage.
Oh, okay, okay.
Tomorrow you don't have much of storage. You have 100 GB of mount point is full. How Oracle will know this one? It becomes your responsibility to add storage. So Oracle will do nothing. Oracle job is to just give you specify. That's only job it is. You have to specify. It should go till 32 GB. Oracle job is to keep on adding objects till it's not filled 32 GB. Once it's filled 32 GB, it's your responsibility to go and add next database file.
Okay, okay.
But Oracle will do nothing for you. So now what we do, we will add this. Let's add it's 1 MB. Let's add 10 MB. Let's see. And let's keep 1 GB max size. Oh, where's the one? Okay, first we have to connect to that database. Now you should see this database file. You see this one database file? Table space name, you can see this one, okay? But now we have just created. Did we assign this table space to schema?
No.
That means still, though we have created for this schema, but we have not assigned it.
Mhm.
That means we have still not assigned this table space to schema. First, we have to assign. How will do that? Let's do that. Alter user. Alter user username is Apex. By default, it was given no schema, no table space. That means default table space will change. Default table space Apex. Now we have given table space to who? User. This table space has been given to user. In the same way, the way we have done for database file, we can do for table space, temporary table space. Temporary table space. Temporary table space is what? It's again table space which is used for temp spaces. Like when you select star from TMP table, that means you're getting some kind of output on a screen, but it needs some memory to stay on the screen. When it pulls table from the object with the help of object from the IO from data storage, it comes to your memory, Oracle memory, and it resides in a temp table space for some time. So this is for temporary. And let's understand what is when you create a table space on the for Oracle doesn't give all the space to user schema. Though I have given this table space to Apex user, that doesn't mean it's going to give all the user. By default, there are some limit memory given for this user to use in this schema. So we have to give this called grant unlimited table space to Apex. That means all the database file which you add to database table space in this one, Apex can use it, all the spaces in the table space. So you have to use and succeeded. The way we have done create session, like when initially we were not able to create objects like table. Now, in the same manner, there are other objects, view, session, connect, resource, everything. They all are privileges. What are more privileges? Cluster, dimension, index, job, materialize view, operator, procedure, sequence, session, synonym, table, trigger, type, view, session. Remove this one, we'll get on. So these are all the privileges. You have no idea what kind of privilege the database user require for adding. If the database user schema needs to create a new sequence, procedure, operator, they won't be able to do unless you don't give them privilege. Grant create session.